loose. White dive on him.
This is twice now the Celtics have been first to the floor. They try to
Save with Horford. Unbelievable.
Boston first to the floor. So good.
Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Tatum dives on the floor. Everybody dives. Jaylen Brown with the flush. Blocked by Porzingis. He's doing it all. Tatum spinning, driving, laying. Washington drives. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derek White.
All right, welcome in. First to the floor, Ben Vallis here, along with Wayne Spooney and Jake Eisenberg. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Lots to get to tonight. The Indiana Pacers continue to fill the void after the Celtics' early exit. Jaylen Brown has had knee surgery and now appears to be living in some kind of space-age healing chamber. And we've had a few minor details reported around Drew Holiday and potential draft night movements. But first, Spooney, Jake, the Indiana Pacers up 2-1 in the NBA Finals, a la the 2022 Boston Celtics. How you guys doing? How about our Pacers?
It's incredible, man. As we all predicted, another Pacers dub. Simmons called them the 2011 Mavericks. I think they're more like 04 Pistons, where like everybody thought the Lakers were going to kill them. And then around game 3, you're just like, wait a second. I don't think this is like, I think the Pistons might just be better than this Lakers team. I think that's where I'm headed with this Pacers team, man. Like, they are just awesome.
Well, you're ready to call it.
No, but man, they're good.
Okay. Well, like if you were given the the Thunder are still pretty heavy favorites, like
massive
betting-wise.
favorites.
But I think that's just because like they kind of have to be anchored to where they were originally. But would you pick them now, the Pacers, to win the series up 2-1? They got 2 more home games. The Thunder do struggle on the road. This has been a thing for them all playoffs and really relatively all season long. Like they're like ridiculous at home and like just a regular good team on the road. And it's proven to be the case that there's a very wide disparity between home and away now. And the Pacers are just like a ferocious home team with the added capability of actually stealing road games as well.
Mm-hmm. This is what makes life so good. Head versus heart. Like the head says the Thunder, right? Like the basketball logic, like of course they'll prevail. They're something like 5-0 coming back against losses, I think, so far in the postseason. And they're fucking 68-win regular season team. Like they should win. Yeah. And yet the Pacers just seem destined and they continue to defy the odds, like literally and figuratively. So I want the Pacers. Like I think as far as like from a Celtics fan perspective, like the good vibes of the underdog Pacers in the East again prevailing in the postseason is the winning storyline for me, Spooney.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to say Pacers in 7, maybe even 6.
7?
I don't know.
Because if it gets to 7, that concerns me.
Yeah, because I know OKC would be at home, but game 7, throw it out, all the cliches. Like all it takes is Grant Williams going 7-18 from 3 and you win game 7, I think the sneaky thing is all we've been talking about with this series is depth and like Dagnall's slowly like not trusting guys. It was basically just Caruso and Hartenstein and a little bit of Wiggins in game 3. And fucking Carlisle, man, he's just rolling the crew out there. 28 minutes for Toppin, 15 for McConnell, 22 for Mathurin, 18 for Shepherd.
Only 3 for my boy Tommy B, sadly.
Yeah. And he was a -4 somehow in the game they won by like 10. So I think the longer this goes, like I thought Caruso looked pretty gassed in that fourth quarter. I wonder if like the war of attrition, the Pacers are just winning it. But we've certainly seen before where at the end of a hard fought game, they look exhausted and then the other team comes out and blows the doors off, the team that won. So I would not be shocked if OKC won, but I'm doing it. Give me the Pacers.
Okay.
I'm doing it. I'm switching over. I'm taking it.
Yes, sirs.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, like, what was going on with Chet in the second half of this one? He looked like a Sherpa. It's like he does just generally have this sort of visual embodiment of a mountain Sherpa. He looked more like one of those compared to a professional basketball player in the second half, Jake.
As someone that has been looking into some hiking in Nepal and the Sherpas, I can't say I see similarities, but he does kind of have a little hunch when he walks. How a lot of absurdly tall people do look. He's been very uneven in the playoffs, and in this series in particular, I thought he's been terrible in multiple games. He was good in game 2, but like the Thunder just rolled there. He was 2 for 9 in game 1, 6 for 15 here, and most of that came like in the first quarter. I want to say, like he was. If this updates, he was 4 for 5 in the first quarter alone, and so in the second half he was completely irrelevant. 2 for 8. And what's interesting, him and Miles Turner were like mirror images of each other, because I was like, man, it does not feel like Miles Turner can play in this game. He was a fucking mess, like getting cooked defensively, couldn't hit a shot. 2 for 10, I think, coming into the fourth, and then he completely swung the game. He had an awesome rim protection on Isaiah Hartenstein. He blocked the perimeter shot. Who shot? It was Chet's, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
The block. Chet's 3. And they like did a Freaky Friday of each other, and Miles Turner took over in the fourth quarter and was awesome. I mean, I didn't realize Isaiah Joe played so few minutes, but in those 4 minutes, he did hit 2 threes. And that's what would concern me a little bit about the Thunder, is that they shot 45.5% from 3. Granted, like the 3-point volume in this game was like the Larry Bird Celtics, like 23. I mean, it's hyperbole here, but to see both teams shoot 27 or less threes in the year 2025 is just a complete outlier, and not something that Missoula Bowl would endorse, obviously. But they just kept hitting these shots to keep them in the game. Like Lou Dort, Caruso, and Isaiah Joe combined to go like 8 for 9 from 3. And I was like, man, Lou Dort's doing it again, keeping them in the game. And he finally missed his last shot when the Pacers were making their run. And it was like, I've been someone that refuses to believe that Lou Dort is actually a good shooter. And he like has just been eviscerating me for 2 seasons now, and has had multiple games in this series where he's hit 4 or more threes, but it finally ran out. But man, the Pacers just fucking straight up beat these guys.
Yeah, man, I thought they looked awesome. I thought Carlisle coached an absolute masterclass. One thing they're doing with Dort is if he's not in the corner, they're just totally ignoring him. And I thought like the way they're covering that pick and roll with Shea, when Dort's the screener, it's like Hallie hedges, lets Nembhard get back, and then he just kind of like stays there. He doesn't double. It's not like a hard double, but he almost like zones up at the free throw line just to give it's like crazy hard nail help. And he just like doesn't hedge and recover. He just like hedges and then plays zone. And if it swings to Dort, who's popping after the pick, it's like Hallie just trusts he can get back to him and force like a miss or force him to put it on the deck, because he's not really super comfortable above the break. In the corners, he's a sniper, and like they're playing defense on him there. So, and like the way they're just multiple actions in the pick and roll and like going at Chet over and over in that fourth quarter in the pick and roll with Halliburton, Nembhard, Mathurin, I think got him on like a pull-up 3 at one point too. I thought Chet just looked like totally not up for it in that fourth quarter. Like Miles Turner was throwing him around like a rag doll on the glass at times, and Miles Turner isn't exactly prime Dwight Howard, so they just looked like, look, I certainly think OKC can win this series. It would shock me if they go rattle off 3 wins in a row. But the Pacers looked like the better team pretty convincingly last night. And I think that's the first time in the series you can really say that.
Yeah, it did look like they had some really well-defined, well-rehearsed strategies for going at the Thunder. And yet, this is an awesome NBA Finals game. And it was close right up until basically the end. And then the Pacers go on this spirited run. I don't know if you're not part of the Celtics blog playback room, make sure you jump in there, because Jake's hosting these awesome watch parties with Sam LaFrance of How About Them Celtics as well. We've got a highlight reel of that experience up on our YouTube channel as well, so you should go check that out. But a close game right up until the end, and then Spoonie, your guy, Aaron Nesmith, critical late 3 to sort of spearhead that incredible run. You're obviously vindicated as a lifetime, really the founder of Nesmith Island, the first guy to arrive on the shores and start setting up the critical infrastructure for what is now a booming metropolis.
It's amazing. Honestly, it's pathetic how proud I am of him. It's ridiculous. I have some takes on Reddit where it's I will stake my entire reputation on Aaron Nesmith being at least a solid NBA player. He had one awesome defensive possession on Jaylen Williams at the end of the game too, where like he kind of just got into him, and I don't even think he got the steal, but he sort of forced the pressure that ended up in a steal. Monster nut shot, was flying all over the place, getting rebounds, doing Nesmith stuff, hard fouls on Caruso. Like this was the full Aaron Nesmith gamut. I loved every second of it.
He's awesome. I feel like he's hit a huge dagger 3 in every win this season, this playoffs. He did it again, and the rebounding, great pick up there, Spoonie. Like I swear as well, all the clutch, him and Nembhard, I love. And this is a Celtics thing as well. It's like it's so awesome when your wings and your guards can help you on the glass and like just make those winning plays. And in game 1, Nesmith got like this incredible clutch rebound. Same in this game. And Nembhard, I love him. I love him so much. Like he's
so good.
Man, I've said it before. I haven't felt this way about any non-Celtics role player. I don't think ever. Like he's reminding me of like one of my first loves, and that is Derek White. In the way that he just always makes the right play. Always makes the right play. I love the way that he battles defensively. Like Shea, had a really bad game, and we're not really hearing about it because it's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and not Jason Tatum, but like 53% true shooting, 6 turnovers, got gassed, and was a guy that they were going at. TJ McConnell cooked him multiple times. But Nembhard, I think you can credit with a lot of SGA's struggles yesterday, and it's just like the relentlessness of this Pacers team, both in their style and the way it's like, they don't go down big. And if they do go down big, then they don't give up and they come back. But it's like they don't let go of the rope. And that was the secret to them coming back in so many of these games. It's like they stay attached just enough where it's a 99.9% chance, not a 100% chance, except for that Knicks game where it was technically a 100% chance win probability at some point. But like, and you said Caruso looked tired. I thought Shea looked tired. And if they are going to start to, tighten their rotation here, and this is interesting in that it's the only game I think that there's only one day off. And it's like, okay, you got to turn around in less than 48 hours, and you got to play this Pacers team that is now like full of confidence, complete belief in their system, and now 2 games really where they've found success offensively and defensively. I think they feel comfortable in their game plan.
Yeah, and the field house was bumping last night as well. I love a field house. Like I love alternate arena names. A field house, a garden, a bowl, if you will, as opposed to like just the arena or like the mortgage, whatever it is, like corporate slammed title. So love a field house. I liked how the refs kind of swallowed their whistles a little bit on some of those Shea like drives and grifting attempts, which to make those calls in the moment, it would have felt like really against the flow of the game. And if Shea can't get to his like normally 100% success rate, like point generation, skill of getting to the free throw line in those late game situations, and like there's going to be issues. And then 6 turnovers for Shea. I think 17 overall. I've unfortunately closed the box score in a very untimely fashion. 17 turnovers
correct
for the Thunder, which was so surprising. And then subsequently, like you look at the transition numbers on cleaning the glass, and Indy had such a high frequency and success rate in transition as well. And like they're the Pacers, aptly named. They play at a very high pace, and if you continue to turn the ball over, like bad shit is going to happen to you. And I'm just surprised to see that happen to the Thunder. They don't usually fall victim to that sort of thing. They're usually despite their lack of age, like quite a mature basketball team. So that was kind of surprising. I don't want to call it like an unraveling, but it's not a good look as you go down 2-1 as the 68-win team. I know we're saying that logic should prevail in the prediction of how this series will turn out, but like there are definitely red flags for OKC at the moment.
Yeah, and I think the Pacers have proved that they can hang, man. And it's just like the ebbs and flows of a series. The fact that they got game 1 and they now got game 3. I feel like I'm Bill Simmons right now, but it's like it makes it a lot easier to win the series when you stay in front. It seems like fucking obvious. But it's like it buys you so much margin of error. It's like you can take the blowout punch that's coming from OKC, but you're good enough to then come back and. I don't know, I trust the Pacers more in the clutch so they can keep it close, and look at them. That's twice now when they've come out on top in a close game.
Yeah, real quick on Simmons. He said the most ridiculous thing on his podcast with Zach, like on planet Earth. He said, I thought the level of play in this game 3 was so high, it was more like a game 4 or a game 5.
Yes, yeah.
There is no fucking difference between
Yeah,
a
it was
game
awesome.
3, game 4, or going from
Yeah.
like absolutely not.
It's
Okay.
like, yeah, this is more of, I know it was a game 3, but it felt like a game 4. It's like,
Yeah, like, that's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. On Shea, Nembhard absolutely cooked him like late in the game. Beautiful midi after I think McConnell missed the layup. But I saw a stat today. Second Spectrum tracks blow by percentage. So the percent of times you get blown by when you are the defender. Luka's in the finals last year was 67%. So he's getting cooked 67% of the time. Shea's is 70%.
whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's getting blown by more than Luka Doncic against us last year. So do not put him in Jason Tatum. Fraud, MVP. Don't put him in Jason Tatum conversations. He's getting absolutely destroyed by this Pacers team. They're going at him nonstop. You said it, Jake. Like, they're going at him and Chet. And it's really difficult to win games when your two best players who have to play big minutes, well, two of your three best players are getting attacked and getting attacked successfully.
Nice meme in the chat. Shout out says that's fake, Spoonie. Fake news.
Okay, well, whatever.
Well, who knows?
Let's still
Who
clip
cares?
it, post it on
Who
Instagram.
cares?
That's good
It's
stuff.
definitely, no, but it's their game plan though, and part of that is because it's like the Derek White thing. It's like, well, they have to attack someone, and they're not going to attack Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum or Drew Holiday or Al Horford. It's often going to end up being Derek White, maybe Al Horford. It's never going to be Jason Tatum though. I know that's for damn sure. And SGA is, yeah, man. Oh man, TJ actually didn't finish it. They ended up scoring on the possession, like off an offensive rebound. But he had Shea completely lost. Got in with the cross, got downhill, pump fake. Shea goes past, actually misses the shot, and then Nembhard hit a little mid-ranger. Nembhard has some of this, like, this Pacers team is the aura team. After all of the Shea aura stuff, this Pacers team has it all, and Nembhard might be at the top of the list. I mean, actually, it's hard to have anybody above the aura farmer that is Tyrese Halliburton in the way that he does what he does. Like, he's shooting 99% on clutch shots, but Nembhard had like that mid-range jump shot where he's like he's on the left side and he like just cuts, and the defender is just nowhere in sight, and it's just beautiful 80s basketball, 90s basketball that we've all been missing apparently, and knocks it down, nothing but net.
Hallie has like gone from aura farmer to like setting up a sophisticated agricultural network around his aura acquisition. There's something spicy going on there. I love it. On that,
industry.
like we've talked about predictions. What do you guys want to happen? Like, I've been thinking about this a little bit. Like, do you want Indy to go up 3-1 and like put OKC into that position where still maybe favored by some at that point have to fight themselves out of that hole? Is that the most sort of competitive juncture or direction to send the series in? Or do you want OKC to tie it up, like going back tied to OKC for a game 5?
Okay. I think I want Indy to go up 3-1, then OKC win, so we get a game 6, and then Indy to close it out in 6. I think that's my ideal path.
Yeah. Well, if I get to just choose my favorite outcome, it would be going up 3-1, Thunder win the next 2, but then Indy wins game 7.
Yeah.
I was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I mean, that's like the optimal thing. That feels absolutely absurd, though, if the Thunder actually pull out 2 in a row and then they get to go, like if they win that game 6 after being down 3-1. But number one is I just need the Pacers to win this series. We didn't even talk about Ben Mathurin. And while we did shit on Bill Simmons, he literally earlier this season was like, Benny Mathurin's going to have like 27 points in 22 minutes. And he literally had 27 points in 22 minutes in the NBA Finals in Game 3 in the performance of his fucking life. And yeah, in the playback room, we were trying to come up with nicknames for Benny Mathurin, and we had like, Eggs Bennedict, Eggs Benny, but yeah, I think Myrene,
Benny and the Jets.
Benny and the Jets, Myrene in the chat, one of our 4 female listeners that include our 3 wives. And
My wife doesn't listen.
Yeah, very generous.
So our 1 female listener, shout out. But she was like, Benny's Benny's pretty hot. And we're like, yep. And we noticed the incredible cheekbones. So yeah, Benny hot cheeks, Benny cheekbones. Pacers fans, you're very welcome to take these nicknames and sprinkle them around your own atmosphere. But yeah, he was unbelievable. And like, I'm not a huge fan of that like specific type of player archetype, and it's a weird fit for the Pacers and like kind of a ball stopper. And it's like, if you're going to be that type of guy, you need to be more efficient, more consistent of a scorer. Also, like Jaylen is more consistent of a scorer in the playoffs, obviously, and a better defender, rebounder. But at the end of the day, the game is about a bucket, and having a dude that can like just create his own shot against elite defense, and some nights he's just going to go absolutely nuclear. You can't really, like, it's just, there's always going to be value to a guy like that, even if he does it once in a series, because otherwise you can just pull him like the Pacers have been doing, and then you get a night like last night where he goes like 27 on 1,000,000% true shooting, and now you're up 2-1 in the finals.
Love to see it. We've got a bunch of Celtic stuff to get to. Most of it like based off very, very loosely reported details, but that's the juncture of the offseason that we're at. First, we've got to pay the bills here. A quick word from our friends over at Prize Picks.
Prize Picks time, baby. NBA Finals. Our Indiana and the Pacers are up 2-1. Finally, we have a loss with going more on Shea points. I'll be hitting that one again in Game 4. That's been pretty rock solid for me. Other than that, maybe it's Benny Hot Cheeks. Can he keep it going in Game 4? Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Shout out Prize Picks. Shout out the CLNS Media Network for presenting the First to the Floor YouTube show and audio podcast. You can go subscribe over at Spotify as well to our show. All the video versions of the pod are uploaded there now. So if you're not a fan of watching/listening to pods on YouTube live or after the fact, you can get it on Spotify as well, which is a great platform. Obviously, moving on to the Celtic stuff, Jaylen Brown. I do have the image here somewhere. In the healing chamber. I don't know what this is connected to. I could make a couple of guesses as far as what is being imbibed into his lungs there. But having a good time post-op. Very small bandage post-surgery. Just to get to the details of the surgery very quickly. Underwent a successful right knee arthroscopic debridement procedure. Is expected to participate in training camp without limitation. And this is an indicator of the Celtics. Oh, is this an indicator of the Celtics' approach to next season? I'm clearly just blindly reading bullet points here. Apologies. So a debridement procedure, just if you're wondering, it's essentially just like the trimming around the broken off bits of the meniscus. It's like the most common form of meniscus surgery that you can get. I think there are an average of 650,000 of them in the US every year. So very common, non-serious procedure, and hence like just the tiny little like tissue paper around the surgery site after the fact. So it seems very like not alarming, and he's going to be ready for training camp, and it's all roses. It's all lollipops and sunshine, right, guys?
Yeah. Great job convincing yourself, Ben.
There we go, man. I'm impressed.
Still in the process.
Yeah, man. Like I'm not going to pretend to know anything about this stuff. So I'm going to assume it's fine, and he'll be back to 100%, and we'll get whatever last year's version of Jaylen Brown will be in the past, and he'll be back to explosive, awesome Jaylen Brown. But if you think there's any chance that he's not, I think that now is the off season, right? To maybe start looking around. But for now, I'm assuming we're getting full Jaylen Brown, Vegeta, Gravity Chamber, Super Saiyan Jaylen next year.
Well done. As someone that was watching Dragon Ball Z on the plane on the way from Tasmania to Sydney today, I appreciated that one. Hopefully what is coming out of that scuba diving mask that's attached to looks like a spaceship is not whatever Brandon Jennings was smoking when he thought that it would be a good idea to launch his own sock brand, which I just saw before coming on here. And I kind of have like a vendetta against Brandon Jennings after this season now. So I hope that the sock company that I don't think I have to hope very hard that Brandon Jennings' signature sock brand is going to fail, but I am preying on his downfall nonetheless. But yeah, Jaylen, don't smoke whatever Brandon Jennings was smoking. Well done from you, Ben, convincing yourself that this is actually good and fine. But We don't know exactly what it is yet, and it's similar to like the Achilles thing with Tatum. Is like we don't know if he actually got the speed bridge yet. We don't even really know if the speed bridge would be better or worse yet. And then with this one, we don't know exactly what they did or didn't do in there. Like in Street Clothes, the Twitter guy that's been on Zach Lowe's pod a couple of times wrote an article about it and just essentially laid out the different things that it could be, and it does indicate that it's more of like the words you use. I had to Google. You titled our run sheet debridement, and I assumed it was like a word like that meant a fun podcast, but it actually means a knee type thing.
I thought it was wedding related initially, but sorry, go on.
Nice.
That's good. That would make more sense.
More like divorce.
Yeah.
Before the fact, yeah.
Yeah. He's been divorced from his bad knee, and now he's being brided to his good knee, hopefully.
Sure.
But yeah, it sounds like it's the snip, like the versus the repair, which is the longer recovery, but typically the lower risk of long-term issue option. And so like this is kind of what the Rob Williams got, and where you do now have a higher risk for the arthritis kind of popping up. On the other hand, there's been plenty of guys where this has been like a bump on the road and they've returned to be awesome for the rest of their career. The best example is Russell Westbrook had this like 10 years ago and is now, still one of the most athletic 35-year-olds I've ever seen. Cam Johnson had it, he's fine. Evan Mobley had it, he's fine. Like there's a bunch of guys that have had this and are fine. And Robert Williams is not Jaylen Brown as far as like injury history and healing goes, similar to Joel Embiid, who had like this done, but also had this done like 4 times.
Yeah.
So it's like very, very different. It's definitely, I would say, much, much higher chance that he's like back to normal and everything's fine. But there is a higher risk that he's not versus if this had been like the full repair.
There are degrees to which you can injure your meniscus as well. And the degree, this is all speculation, obviously, but like Jaylen Brown played a lot of basketball and a lot of postseason basketball after injuring his meniscus and then had whatever that version of the meniscal injury repaired. So yeah, snip, shave, maybe like you only have to have a tiny nick of your meniscus. I have a torn meniscus in my right leg right now, as well as no ACL in that leg, and I'm like playing ball on it. And like you can play through it, and like at some point you get the arthroscope, you get a little snip, and you kind of like back on the court like pretty quickly after that. So if it's a mild meniscus injury, which it kind of seems to be based on the little details that we do have for Jaylen Brown and the fact that he played so much ball after the injury, then the recovery and the arthritic implications down the road are also subdued as well. So that's why I kind of feel decent about it. Obviously, I don't know, but there are signs that it's like quite minor as far as the spectrum of meniscus injuries are concerned. So moving on. ESPN, actually before that, there was a little Shams nugget that was released. Shams said the Boston Celtics would, quote, prefer not to move Jaylen Brown or Derek White this offseason despite, quote, big offers from other teams. He said this on the Pat McAfee show. This is where we start to get into the realm of like, this is all stuff we already know, just repackaged and retweeted and reposted out to the world. That said, we're clutching at straws here, guys. Like, are you deriving anything from this? Are you getting any detail that you hadn't otherwise considered?
I'm deriving. Go ahead.
So you did just Simmons Pat McAfee's name. And
what did I say?
McAfee, I think.
McAfee, the McAfee antivirus. You've never used it. Come on, the OG McAfee
from Polynesia or whatever the hell he is, Indonesia.
There you go.
Oh man,
huge sports guy.
That's good. It's never going to top Cedric Maxwell's Bam Badabayo.
Yeah, that's right.
Badababo. Oh man, he hit him with like 4 different names on that. That was a great episode. Go watch that if you haven't. We had a lot of fun with Matt.
Still the best. Top 5 for sure.
Okay. This is weird to be like, we don't want to trade these guys. Well, we'd prefer not to. Despite we've got some big offers on the table, it almost feels like we're drumming up interest and competition in them as trade pieces. Like, what the hell does prefer not? Just be like, they're not trading them, or like they're not on the table right now. Prefer not to, but if you come with one of these big offers, I don't know, man. I thought it was worded kind of weird, but also it's Shams bullshitting with one of the dumbest sports entertainment guys on the planet. He's a Mountaineer, WVU grad. I can say that. He's our idiot.
I think he
So
would
like,
agree.
I don't, yeah, I think so for sure. I got to get my vitamins, bro, or whatever before he's, anyway. Anyway, this is probably nothing, but I did think the phrasing was a little strange. If the answer is like, we're not trading them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think on one hand we know it's like, yeah, like they definitely we know the path that we don't know. We think we know that the preferred path is Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White. That's the core, and you retool around them. The other outcome is if you don't get offers that are like don't get other offers for Drew Holiday or Chris Porzingis. You can't dump them. You don't want to just like take on trash, and so you can actually get good offers for Derek White and Jaylen Brown, and that's the way you move forward. Interesting that you picked up on the word preferred. The lawyer in the room. Yeah, I think that, but that it is interesting, and it sounds like kind of what Brad's doing with Drew Holiday as well. But do you not think that this knee surgery is like, it's not a no trade clause, but like, are you getting, Godfather offers for Jaylen Brown after he just got knee surgery?
I mean, there was an emphasis on being ready for training camp and no limitations going into training camp. So in that sense, it's like, it's not damaged goods, ready to contribute no matter where he is. Those kind of vibes.
I guess. I mean, we've heard Joel Embiid will be ready for training camp before as well. And obviously, they're different players with no injury history. But, like, of course, that's what the Celtics are going to say. I do think it definitely lowers his trade value, the fact that he has to go get knee surgery at age 28 after play. It's so sad, man. We just had the Jays play 8 years of playoff basketball, and now they're both fucking wheeling each other around. Well, I guess getting wheeled around by people in hospital gowns after getting surgery on their lower limbs. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, tough times. For the record, I think we can all say this. We would also prefer not to, quote unquote, move Jaylen Brown or Derek White this offseason.
Agreed.
But I think obviously the one consistency here is there's so much conversation around what the Celtics might or might not do, despite almost no detail emerging from the front office, which, if that many media folks are keen to continue a conversation where there's no details at all, like maybe somewhat indicative that there is this perception that something will inevitably happen maybe as soon as draft night. So I think in that sense, there are signs that we can expect fireworks, and we know that to an extent there needs to be just financially to get under that second apron. So continuing with the dribs and drabs of drip-fed nothingness from the media. This came from ESPN 1320 Sacramento radio. Apparently the Kings checked in on Drew Holiday, but the Celtics currently have better offers on the table than what the Kings are offering. This was on the Insiders show, and one of their beat writers, James Ham, reported this. Also, happy birthday, Drew Holiday, apparently, today.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, 35 years old, I believe. But yeah, Kings don't have what it takes in the Brad Stevens world of potential Drew Holiday trades, guys.
I mean, yeah, we don't know what's on the table, what isn't on the table. I think this is at least more evidence to the position that Drew Holiday does have legitimate trade value. Like, it's probably not 2 firsts, but I think there will be something decent in the trade that we get back for Drew Holiday, including cutting salary. So I'll be interested to see what the Kings would offer. I mean, they have some serious trash on that roster, so maybe it was some of that. But they also have some really interesting pieces. I don't know what Keon Ellis's contract situation is. I don't know if he's a free agent this offseason or
for an extension, I believe.
So 1 more year. Yeah, I think you're right there. So if we could wrestle Keon Ellis from them, and that'd be very Kingsy of them to trade a young, good wing for aging Drew Holiday. So that would be way up there in my preferred Drew Holiday trades.
Yeah, I mean, that ticks the box right there. It's like young, athletic, showed a bunch of promise. Yeah, I really like Keon Ellis. I posted the clip from shout out. I forgot who replied to me on Twitter, but it's like a 5-hour radio show, and they gave me the timestamp of when this conversation actually happened, and I posted the 2-minute clip on my Twitter if you want to go find that. But I think it's important to actually watch that, because the way that he kind of says it is very confident. He's like, I know for a fact that Boston has better offers on the table. And just the way that he said that, I was like, man, it's just giving me that feeling that Brad Stevens is about to do it again. Like,
Yeah.
Brad Stevens is just about to fucking do it again. Because we've been, like, talking about how our lives are over and the CBA has ruined the team. Is he about to just do it again and do his version of what, I mean, I'm not sure if anyone is ever going to be able to do Danny Ainge's version of the Brooklyn Nets trade, especially with a Drew Holiday trade. But can he do another Derek White trade, another Al Horford trade, another trade where he brings in a dude that is like a central piece of a playoff team for the next 5+ years? Because I sure
Would you be
enjoy
surprised?
that. No, why would you be?
Yeah. One can only hope. Keon Ellis makes $2.3 million next year. He's signed through next year. That he's an unrestricted free agent. And Keegan Murray, who's also an interesting potential get back with the Kings trade, makes 11-ish mil and is also only signed through next year. And then is an unrestricted free agent. So, that would obviously be a great get back for the Celtics. Samuel fans in the chat.
It's important. We talked about that on the playback. It's like they traded away Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox, and now they're looking for a point guard. You can't make this shit up.
So dumb.
Yeah.
You can't make it up. So it's like you cannot be surprised if they hand the Celtics a fantastic package and we get to ride off into the sunset of the next phase of the dynasty.
Yeah, man.
Fantastic package.
And the Kings would sell themselves like he's a winner. He's won 2 titles. Like he can bring in our young guy. Like Devin Carter can really learn something from him. Like, make the call, Brad. Keep those Kings involved, baby.
Yeah.
Finally here, report. This is from NBA writer Grant Athseth at RG.com. The Celtics quietly exploring trade-up options in the 2025 NBA draft. As if no team has ever tried to move up in the draft. But the details,
I know.
The Celtics are quietly conducting due diligence on point guard prospects and evaluating trade-up scenarios ahead of the draft. The effort is part of a broader strategy to add cost-controlled backcourt depth, again, as if no team has ever attempted that. As the team navigates one of the NBA's most restrictive cap situations, the team has quietly evaluated several point guard options in this draft class, conducting background work and efforts to schedule workouts. Unprecedented maneuvers, guys, from the Boston Celtics to assess draft prospects and potentially better their draft position.
And doing it quietly. Doing it quietly.
Yeah.
Quietly. Brad Stevens. Not that quiet this time, buddy.
So we have worked out a bunch of low-end prospects and one guy who is sort of that late lottery mid-teens, and that is Cedric Coward. And I think Cedric Coward is going to be the steal of the draft. I'm not alone in this. A lot of people love him. Big wing, like 7'2" wingspan, and he is an absolute elite 3-point shooter, plus defender, and like pretty damn good 2-point finisher. He can't pass, but whatever, who cares? And if Coward's the guy we're targeting, that would be an absolute home run from Brad Stevens if he's moving up for that. We also worked out Javon Small of West Virginia University. Please, Brad, please do that for me. Come on. I know you're a big fan of the show. Just please get Javon.
I'm such a sucker for good dimensions. What like draft range, pick range did you say that Coward was projected to go at?
Late lottery, like 15th-ish on most people's boards right now, which is doable, man. It's very doable to get into that range.
Well, the Spurs are definitely a team. Well, okay, would you do 28 and Sam Hauser for 14 if it's like on draft night, Coward still on the board, and then you can make that move?
I think I probably would, assuming that we can shed significant salary, and that takes the pressure off us having to like find anybody to take Drew or KP.
Yeah,
so, like,
assuming that's kind of been sorted.
Yeah, I just mean like trading Hauser for low salary means it is sorted just about, right? So means we can hold out for better deals. So I think I would, because I really think he's going to be awesome. But, I've been well wrong before in the draft.
I know another guy that was a really good wing shooter coming out of college that you did believe in.
Yeah, pick 14 as well, I'm pretty
14. Sure. That's right. That's right. That's right. We can make it right. Brad Stevens, make it right. Coward Island is just fertile for a fresh metropolis.
Does he fall in the draft because of the name, the unmarketable name of Coward?
Yeah, well, so he got hurt. He only played 6 games this past year. So that's why I think if he played the full season, he'd be closer to like unreachable. But he's not. And we got to take a risk that he's a little injury prone. Not ideal. But I think that's probably the guy if they're talking draft moving up.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, guys, before we wrap this one up? I think we've done well given the little we have to work with. 40 minutes is pretty solid.
We've done very well. Torrey Craig, did we talk about that video? Or is that the previous pod?
I think only on the Patreon.
On the Patreon. Shout out Torrey Craig for showing us Tatum smiling and laughing. Appreciate that.
Yeah, more of that.
Yeah, that literally made my day better. I was like, look at him go. Look at him go, having a smile and having a laugh. So appreciate that. Torrey Craig making a case to Brad Stevens to hang around. And hey, if you can make Jason Tatum's recovery 4% better by being a good vibesman, could be worth it.
He's been at the facility, apparently.
Yes, he has. Sorber and Coward we're seeing in the chat here. Oh, that's
me.
Yeah, from Spoonie.
From Kick.
Eric Weiss is. I'm seeing a lot of Sorber.
He's awesome.
Around the Twitter space. I haven't fully dove into the to the draft channel on the Discord. It's honestly too intimidating for me currently. I will make time for it at some point, and Spoonie will tell us who we're supposed to love and how we're going to draft, because he nailed the Jordan Walsh pick. Didn't nail the Bellsheimer pick.
Did not. Way wrong on that one.
But he's in. 1 for 2.
Yeah, the draft channel on the Discord, little intimidating. The books channel, also a little intimidating for me at the moment at this point in my life, but also needs to get comfortable participating in the books channel as well. Anything else? I think we've covered everything. Maybe we can leave it there. Jake, what's going on with the playback room for Game 4? I know you've got some stuff coming up. Are you going to try and band-aid a team of hosts together?
So we're not sure what's happening, both between me, Sam LaFrance, and Robbie. I know I'm going to be on day 2 of a combined bachelor and bachelorette party tomorrow, which starts today. And so I'll be both incredibly hungover or drunk again during the game. So I'm not sure I'm not sure what the Wi-Fi situation is going to be like. So stay tuned. Really, we'll see. We'll see what happens, which is unfortunate because fuck, man, this is Game 4. This is a do or die finals game. So yeah, I can't believe I knew when they booked this bloody bachelor party in the middle of the NBA finals. Yeah.
Selfish.
It was going to be a nightmare. I guess a small silver lining that I don't have to work around the Celtics actually being in it, but would have been a small price to pay.
Yeah, it would have been friendship ended, I'm guessing, if the Celtics were in the finals.
That's right.
To keep the vibes rolling there in the playback room. But yeah, subscribe to the Celtics blog, Playback Room, if you haven't already. The link is in the description below. We will be back next week. Spoonie, Jake, love your work, guys. Until next time, go Celts.